This is the first Sanctuaire as Self Care Live. And we're thank you. So happy to introduce you to everyone, Samora Suber, to talk about meditation as self-care. So I just wanted to tell a little bit about the folks about you. You're LA based. You're a yoga, meditation, and soul love teacher. I stole that from your website. So tell us a little bit about that, a soul love teacher. I'm intrigued by that.
Yeah, so it's really about intuition. It's about understanding your intuition, listening to your intuition, and connecting fully with yourself. Okay. And I think a lot of times, we feel like we do that naturally, but we struggle sometimes to really hear ourselves.
Yes.
What I do is I really help people slow down, create safe spaces and really create the time, which is more important, to have that time with yourself, listen to yourself, follow your intuition, and allow that to open doors for yourself.
I love that. I love that so much. Before we hop into our topic on meditation, how have you been during this time? I know this year has been an unprecedented one, but how's it been for you?
I think that I'm in a much better place. I think that now I'm starting to adjust, as well as everyone, I'm sure, adjust to how we are in terms of working from home, connecting, over Zoom, and just creating like a lifestyle of being more digital, especially because a lot of my work was centered around like in-person connection. I was doing a lot of like international retreats, workshops, teaching yoga classes, meditation classes, all of it in person. So now I'm trying to deviate and figure out like what still makes it a connection and create that sense of like intimacy with other people, but from the comfort of your own home. So honestly, I'm starting to actually enjoy it. At first I was like, I hate this. I don't like it. But now I'm starting to realize that it's giving me a sense of freedom.
Yes.
And I can connect with so many people in so many different organizations that I probably wouldn't have been able to.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to find the like silver lining with all of this. Yeah.
I'm kind of loving it because I'm the introvert who prefers to connect by phone. Video is the stretch for me, but all of, you lived in New York before, so you know how it is, all those coffee meetings, everybody wants to meet for coffee, and you can probably hear all the horns outside now, but it's always like that thing where everybody's like, let's meet for coffee, let's meet for drinks. And so I'm kind of loving this, like, let's meet on Zoom at 4:00. So
I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to, It's definitely, And I'm the opposite. I like being social. I like seeing people in person, but I don't know. I found some peace and some joy with this. So it's so good.
Well, I'm not going to keep you long, but let's kind of hop into it. One of the things that I want to talk about is obviously meditation, but are there different types of meditation for people that may be new to meditation? Are there different types, or is there just one type of meditation?
Yeah, there's oh my goodness, probably way more than I even know, but like the main ones are like guided meditation. I think that that's the best one for beginners because you have someone actually walking you through the steps of like how to connect with your breath, how to release your thoughts, how to like ground and be present. So guided meditation, I think, is always good for beginners. And then there's like just like a deep breathing meditation that you can do on your own, or you can also pair with like a breathing technique, which is also nice, that you can really, really go deep or deeper into your meditation. So that's a good one. And then there's meditations where you can use beads or crystals or like different, different modalities of like healing to help you get into your body and really connect with your breath. So so many
varieties. Well, I was really intrigued when I was looking at your website. You have a method called Moga and meditation. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so motivational yoga, Moga,
Okay.
is something that it's a technique I created a while ago, and I'm still kind of refining it.
Okay.
But what it really is I'm pairing motivational affirmations with specific yoga sequences so that you can break physical boundaries, you can stimulate positive thinking and release emotional blockages.
I
Yes.
love that. One of the things we've been doing, sorry to cut you off, on the Sanctuaire platform is, or on our Instagram, is sharing affirmations, kind of daily affirmations. And sometimes they're in the afternoon, depending on when we post, but I love that. So maybe at some point we'll get you back and you can do a session with us on the Moga, because that sounds amazing. I just kind of stumbled across it on your website. I was like, I didn't know she did this. So.
Yeah, it's definitely something that I felt was important, especially for people who, okay, so I was trained in Ashtanga yoga. This might get a little technical, but Ashtanga yoga is more of a traditional style of yoga.
Okay.
You know, like in India and in the Eastern world. In the Western world, we tend to look at yoga more like an exercise or like something to relieve stress, which, yes, it is, of course.
Yeah.
But a layer deeper than that is that it is a moving meditation. And sometimes we forget that, like, the act of just doing the yoga and being in these different poses and sequences is supposed to elevate you in a lot of ways, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and then also prepare you for a deeper meditation. So I wanted to bring a little bit of that tradition back into yoga, and I felt like doing it in this way, like, you know, a little spin, a little twist, a little freshness to it, would make people want to try it. So
that definitely makes sense. I agree with you. I think a lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to take a yoga class, and it's more about the exercise of it. I got to move my body, and I just, you know, I'm trying to burn calories. I want to get fit. I want to build up my arms or whatever. But I think bringing that practice and that intentionality back to it that sounds amazing. So tell me, how did you begin meditation, or when did you begin meditation, just for yourself, for your own like personal practice, not even just teaching?
I probably really seriously started getting into meditation it was like maybe 2013.
Okay. So,
like, you know, some years ago.
Yeah.
But I've always been a mover. So I've always been like a dancer. I was a dancer, and then I was taking yoga classes. So meditation was always like kind of in there. Yeah. But I didn't really get serious and understand the benefits until around 2013, when I went to a workshop in an organization called the Art of Living Foundation. And this was actually in New York.
Really?
So it was like, yes. So it's like, you know, New York is New York. And it was just funny that I would find meditation in a place like New York, where it's just so much energy, so much happening. But I was over here, you know, trying to get centered. So it was good.
But I feel like New Yorkers need it more than anyone else.
Yes.
I didn't even begin myself practicing meditation, and I still will say I'm not the best, but until living here in New York, I was working with a life coach, and she actually recommended it. She was like, have you ever tried meditation? This was just probably about, I would say, like maybe 3 years ago. And I just was like, no, I've never tried it. I didn't know that whole thing about sitting still. And exactly like you said, I have to do the guided. For me, I need guided. I think if I do it on my own, I'm asleep. but I'm still new at it, you know? So but anyhow, I'll let you finish telling us, like, kind of, so New York is where you started, and then how did you get to teaching it?
That came later, when I got my yoga certification. I was doing a little bit of teaching it, just within my own kind of friend group and my own little community. But after I got my yoga certification, that's when I started teaching not only yoga, but specifically meditation even more. So I think that they kind of go hand in hand. So
yeah. Was there anything in your life that pushed you towards meditation, like anything specific that happened, or you just really kind of stumbled upon it?
Who, girl? Yes. So I was living in New York at the time, and I was super unhappy. I was unhappy with my job. I was unhappy in my relationship, or I just got out of a relationship. I can't remember the details, but I just remember feeling very depleted. Like nothing's working. I don't know what to do. So I actually signed up for a life coaching program.
Okay.
It was a group life coaching program, but our life coach recommended meditation too, and specifically this organization, The Art of Living. And so I was like, okay, this sounds kind of cool, but also I don't know anything about it. But yeah, I started going to these like workshops, and they teach you how to breathe and different breathing techniques. And I just got totally into it, and I saw the benefits right away.
Right?
And from there I was hooked.
Well, I guess that kind of leads us into what are the benefits of meditation?
Yeah, so many. I think the biggest one for me, and probably for most people, is that it really helps with stress. It helps with anxiety. It helps getting you to a place where you are not so attached to your thoughts and the emotions that are also connected with those thoughts, and like going down little spirals. It really helps you to get a bigger picture almost of like what your life is and what these emotions are and what these thoughts are, and to like separate yourself in a way from them so that you can make decisions based on kind of like a higher wisdom, you know? So I think those are the biggest ones for me. Like calm your mind, really energize your body. Staying present, being more focused, clarity, all of those. Yes.
I'm like checking all those. One of the things also, I use a meditation app sometimes, and I love it before I go to sleep. Like the sleep casts are like the best to me, because I find that I don't have a big wind down period. Like I kind of finish work, go to bed. And so like a lot of times my mind is still so active because I've just been on the computer or whatever I've been doing, that literally those apps, sometimes they're talking about the weirdest thing. There's one that's like a laundromat, right? And it's just the sound of like a dryer, right? It's the sound of a dryer. And then it's this guy who's talking in kind of an English accent, and he's like, the sock and the sock. Like they're not even really talking about anything, but I think it's really just to get your brain off of your like sort of to-do list or whatever you were thinking about right before you went to bed. And when I play those things, girl, I am knocked out. I'm like, I don't even know what he's talking about, socks and hampers or whatever. I mean, I don't even think it really makes sense what they're saying. It's just, they're just kind of trying to clear the mind. Also, I find living in New York City, if I put that meditation app on, like in a cab or an Uber, sometimes if it's just a day where I'm feeling a little bit more anxious, 10 minutes on the way to wherever you're going, and like, you know, just amazing. So for those that are new to meditation, how would you suggest that they begin? Like if there's someone who's like, I've never done it, I hear the benefits, but how should I begin?
I definitely think starting with a guided meditation, and that's, you know, on YouTube. I have some on my website. Like there's so many guided meditations, the apps, I love Insight Timer, but Calm and Headspace, there are also good apps as well. So I feel like guided meditations are the best way to start, and really just find one that's just like, there's some that are like intro to meditation or intro to breathing. There's some that's like, you can also pick out by time. So if you know that this might be a little too much for you, you can literally say, okay, I have 5 minutes that I want to try this.